And so concludes my third week as a furry. Now, I've decided I'm going to do a big first month as a furry video next weekend, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because next week, next Monday, it will be the day after my first fur meet. That said, I'm actually going to start this video by. I don't remember if I talked about it in the last video. Uh, I'm not talking about the two serious videos I did. We're done with the serious stuff. I want to talk about my persona and the evolution that he is currently making, and how he has so far, despite only being 3 weeks into this fandom, helped me already. It's working, and it has become this thing where it's become where I originally thought, hey, I'd try this until Anthro New England for 6 months and then decide whether I could leave or not. No, this is very much something I'm going to be stuck in for several years at least, essentially eternally, probably. What you're seeing on screen right now is the sketch. I credited the artist on the Facebook profile for Sunraye. In fact, I actually think I could probably expand it. It should probably. I could probably. Oh no. Well, that's the order for something else I'm going to talk about. The fact that I am now officially confirmed to be going to for Apocalypse in October, which will get a YouTube video for sure. But it just lets me control it. I think see more. Okay, there's the artist credit. So the artist credit there. Any day now. Potentially, probably by the end of the week, when I do my big first month as a furry, where I'm going to go over everything that's happened in the first month. I'm probably going to have this guy finished. One of his poses is actually complete. That is the first pose. They gave me first pose before. He looks pretty darn close to the wolf character that was in my head for the past 12 years. Again, I'll go into that next week's video, but I want to talk about the third week as furry, and a couple of things have happened. Let's get the best thing out of the way. It started with the week actually started, whether I talked this in my last video or not, the week actually started on a Monday for me. Last Monday, I had my first unofficial fur meet. I was like, it wasn't a fur meet per se, it was like an event, and I was like, wait, you're letting me host an event? I went to see Jurassic World. Actually, it was a Saturday, I'm sorry, so it's actually been 9 days now. But anyway, we went to see Jurassic World. Before that, I ended up going to an art jam, which I thought was going to be like an art show. But lo and behold, it was the first time I got to meet real people. Did not understand it was an art jam. It was Anthrocon weekend. I did actually watch a lot of Anthrocon, which was interesting to me because I ultimately came up with, as I said in my last video, the idea maybe someday I'd be in a dance competition. And maybe someday it's just looking like even more likely at this point that that's something I could absolutely love to do as a persona, with my persona. But yeah, so for Apocalypse, that might be a little too soon, but I'll go over the plans for Apocalypse in a little bit. I want to finish the thought that I saw the first two people. I won't use their names yet or their persona names, but I did actually see two of the people of the group, the Rhode Island Furs, IRL. I still have not seen any of them in their suits. I think this first fur meet coming up is the first time I will see them in suits, or rather the fursuiters. And if not, then I know for a fact, I've seen the pictures, they do fur bowl in their fursuits. Anyway, yeah, I'll talk about that too, the whole fursuit thing. But yeah, I continued getting hit by scams. So thankfully, someone in the Discord server whose picture art I really liked sent me their guy on Blue Sky, which is Tim Lake Cheetah. as Blue Sky got lost, so it's Tim like T to two right now. But he's been doing a great job so far. He sent me this proof of concept before I paid him, and I was like, yeah, okay, that's pretty damn close to what's in my mind, and I didn't pay him. It's gonna be not just a full body; it's gonna be a full color. He's gonna add the details to the other two poses and give me a full reference sheet for my persona, and this will be the now official version of Sunraye Wolf, my persona going forward for the foreseeable future. All those wonderful drawings I made that are posted to my persona's Facebook. Yeah, that was fun and all, but I ultimately hit last week. I realized I couldn't do anything more for him. I needed a pro to take over. I mean, a persona is. Some people have argued that it doesn't have to be an idealized version of yourself, but I mean, that's kind of what I want. It's a version of myself that I strive to be, you know? Sunraye is essentially that. Ben, the character that I originally created, that Sunraye is based off of, is essentially I came to realize Ben at the end of the TV series that I made for him. Like, fully confident, good leader, emotionally stable, unlike me. Maybe season 6 or 7, but it's essentially the older version of Ben, end of series, like I just said. So that's who Sunraye became, essentially. And I'm essentially Ben right now, trying to go through emotions, trying to catch up to Sunraye. But Sunraye will be my persona going forward. I've locked that in now. Sunraye Wolf, with an E at the end of Sunraye and an E at the end of Wolf. So, continuing with that story though, I met two people. It turned out to be an art jam was actually drawing. I did not have my tablet with me to draw, so I ended up making a sketch. Do I still have it around here somewhere? I do. So this was done in 1 hour, just because I didn't want to seem like rude. This is actually the blank piece of paper. The one is this. I came to realize I was not a good drawer. I could see this kind of based on the design where he had like the blue and gold. Again, still better than the pen I drawn I did 3 weeks ago, which wherever the heck that thing is. Still better than that. Still not nearly good enough. I actually reverted. If you go to the Facebook for Sunraye Wolf, I actually reverted back to my original version 2 body with my version 1 design. That was essentially what you just saw was version 3 but colored. And because of that, that's ultimately why I decided to go with this as my final design. No, it could still change in the future, but for the foreseeable future, this will be Sunraye Wolf. Anyway, the second half of that day was the unofficial event that I was quote-unquote hosting, which was I went to, as I said, Jurassic World with one of the other furry members who, just basically is not able to drive, still live with their parents, from what I understand. That was me last year, so no judgment there, obviously. I mean, the last several years. And it just felt good to be able to go to the movie with someone, watch it. I was like, I was really still concerned of, am I doing things right? And my main reason for doing that, my main reason for meeting with them was I knew the fur meet was coming up, and I wanted to get in front of some people. And one thing I learned is they still just flat out call me Sunraye. Like, even though I'm not in a suit, I'm still Sunraye to them. Those 3 people and nobody in the group knows my real name. Hopefully nobody on this YouTube channel does either. To them, even if they do, to them, I'm just Sunraye. And so, even though I don't have a fursuit, I am going by my persona, even though they've seen my real face. And that's just kind of cool that already Sunraye is getting out there. So I was able to kind of put on a brave face and start using Sunraye as my persona by like being all confident with the 2 people I saw and being confident about the person that I drove around. Like, I was initially off about this. Like, I'm driving this person who I just met to the movie theater, and we're going to see a film together, and it actually worked out a-okay, you know. We talked, we kind of bonded. I will say I bonded more with him than the other people because we had a lot more in common. And it's like she's not my first connection, that would be the other two people, but he was a little bit more of a deeper connection, and that makes me excited for my first fur meet, where I'll essentially be going to meet other people. I've actually been talking to the leader. He suggested like a mask. I don't know. There's really part of me that wants to just get an actual fur head. I know I can't handle full body, but I'm pretty sure that at least by the time I'm just getting more confident every day that I could handle a partial of Sunraye, and this design. You know, a nice. He's gonna be colored blue and yellow, like, and I'll talk about VRCHAT. I'll talk about that in a minute. That's a whole other separate thing, and it just was a great start to the week. And then I made that serious video because something else happened that has kind of caught me off guard. I know what happens, and people say don't tell your parents. I honestly believed I don't hide anything from my parents, and I honestly believe, as accepted as they are, that they would accept this as well. My mom has always been a little more. She claims to be progressive, but she does have some conservative views, and was a Trump supporter. So I was initially iffy about telling her this, but I did tell her, and lo and behold, she does support me in pretty much everything I do. So she had questions, but does talk to me about this. She is interested. So like, I've been showing her like all the different designs for my persona and asking her what she thinks. She likes one of my other designs, but I think she likes it because I drew it. I like this one more. But I did show her this, and she just said she thinks it's honestly kind of cool, and she'll actually talk to me about what it's like being a furry so far and how it's helping me. I did not expect that because, although in retrospect, I probably should have. When I told my dad, he was kind of misdirection is not the right word. He was very trying to direct me in a different order, which is something he always tried to do, and I know he's trying to help me, but it seems lately that I have hit that point where I need to make my own decisions and kind of stray away from his suggestions. I mean, to be honest, the fact that I'm living alone right now is because I finally pulled the trigger on an apartment. No, it was last year. My dad had this idea that I had to save up, live with him until I had enough money to buy a place, and telling me I wasn't ready to buy a place, and kind of always put me down about it. And last year, I finally just hit a breaking point where I don't go into serious stuff here, but I said no, I'm going to get an apartment. And finally hit a point where he said maybe you should. And I don't think he was serious about it, but when I actually started but I didn't think he was serious about it. He never is, but he was actually trying to help me find apartments. But again, he was sending me apartments that were too expensive, too nice, and I ended up finding this apartment. I was like, this is good. This is fine. This is what I want. And this is what I want. I want to be a furry. I want to do this persona. So when he suggested things like joining a sports group, granted, I definitely got to work out if I ever want a full suit, but he also suggested things like a Christian group, which I had considered, but I want my walk with God to be private. I want the persona thing to be something I do for fun as a stress relief and something that does help me socially. So ultimately I said, no, this is what I'm doing. I didn't let him doubt me this time. I didn't let doubt get in my way this time. Because every week, and I'll talk about this in the 1 month video, every week I get more confident that this is the right thing to do. I watched Anthrocon. I was just like, okay, so that's a long-term goal. Anthrocon, whether it takes a couple of years. You saw I pulled the trigger on... oh, that's too far. This was the final design that I actually handed off to the artist who's doing my design right now. That right there. You can see I was really working hard on it. Oh, I was actually practicing what a. I have a weighted blanket, so I was legitimately practicing what a full fursuit would be like, trying to dance with it on. It was crazy, but you could see that I do have a the order has been received. Probably shouldn't show the order number there, but you could see that I did 1 hour after tickets went live sign up for Apocalypse. I'm going, whether I have to use time off or whether it's the new job, even if it's just for the weekend days, I'm going. Still got a couple months to figure that out, along with, I've essentially kind of slowed down. This week has been better for me. I think the serious week was, the reason I was so serious was did hit the sort of furry burnout that I have been worrying about. So I have kind of slowed down and had some fun with this instead, which brings us to VRCHAT. Because yes, I delved into VRCHAT. And it is insane because that's one of the places where I have been able to fully commit to the persona. I don't know if I can actually share. Did I? I've got to have one on here somewhere. I know I uploaded one somewhere of me and a couple of my friends that I made in the persona thing. This is all like last week. I was working hard on again. There's the main design that's being retired, and it's actually not letting me show it here, which is interesting. Okay, so it's not in here then as a photo, but I have a picture of me and my design. Can't even move anymore. Me and my design. Let's look at them on a web browser. Keep going. Essentially, it's me and a couple of friends in VRCHAT. They showed me around. There was actually the Discord server I'm in for Finn the Panther. And yes, that is right. I know it now. Finn the Panther did have to create like a VRCHAT channel. I was literally, before recording this video, in with another one. And I did even dive in once on my own to put on essentially the persona of Sunraye, which looks very similar to this. And man, it actually worked. I was more socially confident. I would listen to people and I would look, where is my moment to jump into the conversation? It's already helping me socially, where I can know when to jump in a conversation and I can jump in, and it does have that confidence of nobody knows who I really am. So if I mess something up, I can just go to another world. And I did that a couple times where like I feel like I messed something up and I would just go to a new instance of these, or I would let people show me around, show me new worlds. I did that today with one of the people, and they showed me new avatars. And yeah, I'm actually not using the avatar that looks similar to this anymore. I picked up another one that is I forgot what they call it. It's terminology, demi something. It's a style of wolf that has 4 ears and like a big tail and everything. And it does look very, very much more like a fursuit that you would wear. And I just thought it was really cool because it had like my final design will have. Oh, I know what's going on. Like my final design will have. I'm using my phone, so like my final design will have. If I could show an example here, he's got the blue accents here, but essentially my final design will kind of have like the yellow accents. So he had that, and I just kind of fell in love with that guy. So he's my main go-to right now for a VR avatar. I could like even tell you the elements that I. So where is the? Oh wait, that was the second. That was the second version design, with like the more advanced feet. I don't think he's gonna have like the blue mask on there essentially, but in fact, yeah, he's not, because that is a fully textured body. So that blue mask ain't gonna be there, but he is gonna have be like a dark blue. I told him you don't have to use exact colors. Just gonna be kind of blue with yellow elements. Hopefully. Again, I gave him free reign. I gave Tim Lake Cheetah free reign. But VR chat has actually been really cool, and it's been a great way to challenge myself. And it all ultimately ended up in today, where I essentially put on I brought the confidence from my persona into my job interview. As I said, I've got a job interview. I've got a life to get back, and to do that, I'm gonna have to go back to a Monday through Friday first shift job. And I did do that. I did essentially go into the job today, and I put on the confidence of Sunraye for about half the interview, and then I don't know what happened. I think I pushed Sunraye to the back too much. I got too confident and said, "Okay, I've got this now," and Sunraye kind of was put away, and the real me kind of came back out, and I kind of lost my confidence. I was like, "Oh no!" Like I prepared for this, and I've got another interview later this week, trying again. But like this was the one I really wanted. So I'm still hoping that they call me back to say they say they're interviewing more people for a couple more weeks, but essentially in the fact that knowing that I need to slow down now, I know that I've got time to find a job. I've got money to protect myself if I do end up losing this job. And I'm gonna get my life back. And I do honestly believe that essentially Sunraye has been in my head for 12 years, but I've always seen him just as the TV show character. And now that I've embraced him as part of myself, as an idealized version of myself, one that I strive to be, it's actually working. I will say that. This week I did slow down. After the video where I was all distraught about how serious I was, I went in the VR chat. I started practicing socially, and I chose to commission this artist for my first persona. I got excited for that first Furry. Again, I don't remember if I brought up that I did meet 3 people, and I'm just even more excited for the first Furry in a couple of days, because my next video will be discussing my whole first month as a furry, including my first ever Furry. And yeah, there are other events going on too. I've still got some personal things to figure out, but as I do, it's just like I've got this on the other side. I now see this something to strive to be, and I can actually look at this and see this on the other side. And again, with the whole religion thing, I honestly believe that with me being less stressful, I'm honestly more willing to talk to God. Keep that part of me separate, obviously, but like between watching Anthrocon and getting this design and entering VR chat many times, several times, and still being able to, and there's the key, still being able to, ironically, go into work less stressed because of that, and do a better job at work, and be better talking to people at work. So yes, I have actually seen a improvement in my work life. I've even got the attitude now of maybe I don't need to switch jobs. Maybe I can actually improve my quality scores at this job and keep this job. But I think one big thing that happened this week was my schedule did actually change for 10 p.m. starts. So even though I'm now still night shift and I'm waking up even later, my body has adjusted, and it means that as even while I'm looking for a new job, I will be able to attend these Furmies. I won't be able to stay for the fireworks, but I'll be there for like several hours until the fireworks. Maybe the art. Maybe I'll stop by the art thing before. Unfortunately, my new job, the later wake up means I probably won't, but I will certainly be there. I will certainly be at their Fur Bowl now. And it's just I'm actually looking this was the first time where I am actively looking forward, despite everything that has happened, despite all the hardships I faced in the first 2 weeks. This has easily been the last couple of days, the moment that I realized that this is not something that's going to go away. It's why 1 hour after it opened, I pulled the trigger. The maybe became I have to. And even bringing up just how accepted the Rhode Island. I know that there's people say there are some groups out there that can be tough. I don't think the Rhode Island Furs are one of those. I think they've been very accepting of me so far. I mean, they let me host my own event. They let me go out with them. They let me meet them. I've been talking with them more actively now. Uh, Essentially, Sunraye has taken over talking for them. The more idealized version of me. The autism seems to go aside. I know that there's still going to be this moment where, if you go, I'll talk more about this in the 1 month video, but there was the moment where essentially I was not confident and I tried to meet them IRL and fell back. Again, that was an unofficial meet, so not many people were there. But I've been talking with them actively. They've seemed very, very supportive to me. And I know it's just Sunraye, but Sunraye has a lot of things, so there is still a lot of me in him. I've not lied about who I am, but with Sunraye, they know about my autism, they know about the job interviews, and the fact that they're local, they do actually actively talk to me about it. So I do actually feel more accepted, to be honest, than I have in years. And it just kind of hit me that. And the Discord server the same way. I've been much more active in the Discord server of Finn the Panther. And, well, I guess I'll close this video by saying Finn was launching a Patreon, and I just was like, I want to meet him someday at... Something did happen this week where I had seen him once before active in the public chat, and I know he got tired from FurCon and launching his Discord server these past couple of weeks. I've been in the Discord server since the end of its first week. I've watched it grow and feel as if I was in there, like I joined it at just the right time. And when he launched the Patreon, I think I was person number 8 to join, and I joined at the highest tier. I was like, the only other time I've done a Patreon was for a band I loved called I Fight Dragons, and it was for one of their albums. Easily their best album, by the way. I will say they fell off after that, but I still freaking love that album. There are still some songs from that album, like Fightin' On, which is still one of my go-to fight songs in my real life. When I need it, it's on the Persona. I made it for playlist for my Persona, which is like this year were fight songs, and I made the positive fight songs, the Persona playlist, which cut my playlist this year in half, and Fighting On is definitely one of those. Excuse me, very positive, and I've been listening to mostly that, to be honest. But I just don't see any way. I know this was a long video, but I feel like this was a much more positive video than my serious videos. And I did ultimately pull the trigger, and anyone who sees this, I invite you to. It is a public server. I invite you to join the Finn the Panther Discord server. I am in there as Sunraye Wolf. This is the profile picture now. It'll be replaced by the color one once they have the color one. Like I've even said, like he's trying to grow the Discord server, and this is the first time I've said I want to be a part of that. I want to be involved. Like he mentioned video, he posted the actual official launch video today, and he mentioned video. He wants to hire a videographer, and that Dusty Insta360 X3 of mine. This year's skiing was for me, and I didn't take the camera out, but like the camera's wanted to come out again. The camera is for going to Furpocalypse in after New England, and I'm going to record that hopefully, and hopefully by then I'll have at least a partial or a mask. The leader of the Rhode Island First has been like, you don't need one, and I know I don't need one, but there really is a part of me that wants something. There was a point this week where one of the Rhode Island First was getting rid of their old partial fursuit for $900, and I had the money, and part of me was just like, do you want to do it? And I feel like ultimately that no, even if it is a partial, I could adopt that. It is still an option. but I feel like I would still want to do a partial of Sunraye of myself, and that's something to look into. I do realize, as I said, I'm trying to slow things down a little bit. I do realize I have until October. I have 3 months to get that fixed. I know a partial takes time. Worst case scenario, I can adopt something, but I really do want to be wearing some sort of persona when I go there. And again, if you go watch the video, you've seen my face. You might even be able to identify my real life identity, but I don't care about that. If you identify my real life identity, what are you going to do about it? I accept this as part of my life. But again, even the people who have watched my videos have been supportive. The 8 subscribers I have already after just a couple of weeks is like, do I really already have 8 subscribers? How many of them are going to be active subscribers? And I realized it really doesn't matter, because I'm not going to judge people, because if even one person watches this video, or this is right now the start of my journey, this is still the beginning of my journey as a furry. I've still only just accepted and started applying it to my real life. And there's no more doubt anymore that I'm going to be doing this for a while. Because even if I do pull back on the conventions, or even if it takes years, as I said, I'm already supporting Finn in the Discord server. I want to talk to him. That's probably part of, I really want to talk to him. And I get the chance to thank him for making me realize, honestly, and I'll talk more about this in the 1 month video, where it will be probably scripted. I was going to kind of script this one, but then I came up with a decision to make like a 1 month review of me as a furry after day after my first fur meet, which is next Sunday night. Now I'll have to work that night, but then the next day on Monday, I will be like, this is the conclusion of my first month as furry, I ultimately feel like I need to show the group one more time that I need to show everyone in the group my real face first. Even if I've accepted they're gonna know me as Sunraye, but before I put that mask on, I want to see them all once. They probably will be in their fursuits this time. It says fursuits encouraged. Like, there's another event the week after that I'm gonna want to go to, but that one is not safe for work, so that's not really my type of thing. Again, the Gear VR, I did ask the Rhode Island first if I could record that. I am gonna bring the camera just in case. I don't know how much recording I'm actually gonna do, but if I do, maybe there'll be some people that are willing to talk to me about it, and I'll explain to them, like, this is it. Like, I'm not backing out of this anymore. I haven't been so sure of something since moving out last year, to be honest. I haven't thought even once about the addicting game I played, because, like, I had no doubt paying $100 for this was the right choice. And this is the first money I've actually spent on the persona. And it's something that I can keep, and something I can look at and say, yes, this was right. And all the free stuff I've done, like joining the Discord server, or that highest tier is $15 a month right now, and it'll give me a chance to actually talk to Finn, to get to see him. Finn knows me as Sunraye as well. He doesn't know my real name. He has to see my real face, and that doesn't matter, because maybe someday he will, maybe someday he won't. And either way, he is getting... I've realized that although Sunraye is an idealized version of me, he is all the best parts of me. He is still me. He's the best parts of me. So, it's still me, to be honest. I'm not out here identifying it as an animal, but it's still me. It's the best parts of me. I get to show people the best parts of me. And because I'm using the persona to show people the best parts of me, I honestly believe that I can turn around and show myself the best parts of me and say, hey, these are the parts you need to focus on. These are the parts you need to leave behind, and it's already working. I feel more confident about making these videos, and I can't wait to make next month's videos, and I can't wait to see where this YouTube channel goes. It's like I kind of want to expose myself right now because I'm vulnerable right now, and I want to show like this is where I begin. I want to do this so I can look back at where I was in a few months or a few years and say, man, remember when I was like that? Because I'm honestly already doing that. I can already look back at moments in my life and say, man, remember when I was like that? Because I have already, despite not having the confidence I should, I have already grown in my life. Majorly, I have realized I have already boosted my confidence in myself. And essentially, I've told myself everything is going to be okay. And now that I have a group that's accepting me for that, it's just so great. I can't wait to do more VR chat. I'll probably hop in one more time before bed. I have one more day off tomorrow. Actively looking for jobs. Going in and say, hey, if you don't get it, too bad. You know, I see all these other furries with stories way worse. People disowned by their parents. People teased for being gay. People in other areas. And I feel so bad for them. And it's like, but that's just it. You got to be accepting of them. People, they're in a group where they've accepted me. I'm totally willing to accept them for who they are. Even though I don't always agree with it, I will accept them for who they are because they accept me for who I am. And it's just this acceptance that I've honestly never felt, not even from my parents. Because my parents, yes, they accepted who I was, but they never quite accepted. My mom did. Okay, my mom did. There's also the element there of I wasn't sure who I wanted to be, or if I was sure who I wanted to be, I wasn't sure if I could do it. And now it's like I can. I know I can, and this is what I'm going to end up doing. And you know, people can't stop me. They can't. Sunraye's out. You know, he's out and he's not going back in. Sunraye is part of me now. He always has been part of me, but he's a part of me I'm ready to show people now. And I will have one great big video about my first week as a Fursona and everything that has happened next week. I know this was a long one, but I don't know, maybe this is some sort of therapy for me. But this is a big deal for me because I have essentially become a furry and there's no denying that anymore. And just excited for this week, you know. I got one more interview. Joy for that. I'm in a really good mood because I had some great times in VR with more friends from Discord. As I said, I didn't even think twice a couple days ago about going to Furpocalypse. By that point in time, I was like, you know, whatever happens, happens. Even if I'm only there for 2 days, I gotta go. And I didn't even think twice. The second I saw Finn out of Discord, part of me said, go with the highest tier or the middle tier. I was gonna go with the middle tier because that also had the chance to talk to him. I was like, you can afford a couple more bucks, but you can afford to go with the highest tier, and I did. I went with the highest tier, and I was one of the first people to support it. And I got to figure out. I actually have to go figure out how to add in the Discord now that I'm a Patreon supporter. I really don't support people unless I truly feel like I have a connection with them. And I know there's the argument. He has this whole video about how we're acquaintances and not friends. I don't care. Even if we're not friends by the technical term, I'd say, even if we're just acquaintances, I'd say he's still. There are people who I know that I will never meet that still have impacts on my life, and he's one of them. And the ironic thing is, he's someone I do have a chance to someday meet IRL at a FurCon, or even if I just talked to him in the Discord server. Let him know how grateful I am that I don't want to go so far as to say he's saved my life. The decision to become a furry was essentially mine, but he has helped me a lot get into this fandom because the Discord server. It's so have other people. I'd love to credit some other people someday. I should probably talk to them about it. The Rhode Island Furs have been so accepting and so helpful. I'll talk more about them at my first month of a furry video. Next month, I'm gonna try and make a script and stick to it for the first month of furry video because I'm gonna want to talk about a lot. Like, I could essentially make the first month as a furry video right now, but I am still kind of vulnerable. I am still a bit of a mood because the job interview did not go as well as I wanted. I was in VRCHAT and I kind of want to go back in before bed, and I do have the new TV coming tomorrow. Long story there, personal story. We don't want to get into that. But I don't know. This giant confidence boost that has come out of nowhere by essentially letting Sunraye not control my life, but realizing that part of me and that I can, that confidence is within me to be confident, to grow stronger, to make these relationships, to essentially overcome my autism as I once did, as I overcame the inability to live alone. Now I can overcome the social awkwardness. I can overcome my introversion. And I see so many stories that where I used to say, how can I do that? Or rather, I used to say, can I do that? I now say, I can do that. I just got to figure out how. And I will figure out how. Not, I have to figure out how. It's, I will figure out how. It's, I will someday make it to Anthrocon. I will someday wear a partial. Honestly, it'll take a couple years, but I will someday improve my body enough for a full suit. This will be part of me. There is no maybe anymore. This is part of me now. That wolf I had for 12 years in my head, he's out now. Ben has become Sunraye. And now that he's out, he's not going back in. He's never going back in. People joke about, like, once you're a furry, you're never going back in. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want him to. Even if I ever have to slow down and take a break from it, he's still always going to be there. I'm still always going to have this and the commission, and I'm still always going to be Sunraye deep inside. And again, I want to make sure I'm not a Therian. I'm not identifying as a wolf. I do see this as an idealized version of me. I can put this guy on. He's got his own profiles for a reason. Like, I didn't apply to the job as Sunraye. I applied as myself. But it's like, I got to get into this now. And I'm no longer at the point where I'm beating myself up for not doing the center. As everyone says that I talk to, so many excited people, as everyone says, you're here now. That's exactly right. I'm here now, and now that I'm here, I will figure out where my place in the furry fandom is, and I know that I do have one.